Ever wonder how that stunning hand-blown glassware ends up, on your table?
Hmm.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of wholesale merchants who specialize in, you guessed it, glassware from China. Get ready to see those wine glasses in a whole new light,
Yeah.
because this industry is a lot more intricate than it seems.
It's a fascinating blend of art, business, and global connections.
Okay, so let's break it down. What exactly does a wholesale merchant in this field do all day?
Right.
It can't be all champagne toasts and fragile cargo, right?
Well, they're essentially the bridge between the artisans crafting exquisite glassware in China
Mm-hmm.
and the retailers, interior designers, even restaurants around the world who want to buy it.
So like a global matchmaker for glassware.
Exactly. But instead of swiping right, they're navigating complex import regulations, negotiating prices,
Uh-huh.
and making sure those delicate shipments arrive safe and sound.
Talk about high-stakes matchmaking. I imagine this takes a certain kind of person, someone who thrives on pressure
Yeah.
and probably has a good international calling plan. What's the typical day-to-day like for these merchants?
It's definitely not your typical 9 to 5. One day they might be researching emerging trends in glassware design. The next, they're on a video call negotiating a deal with a supplier in Shanghai.
I read that a lot of these merchants work remotely, which makes sense in today's globalized world.
Sure.
But I imagine it takes a lot of self-discipline to juggle those time zones and deadlines.
Absolutely. Flexibility is a huge perk of the job, but it also requires exceptional organizational skills
Right.
and a proactive mindset. You're
Mm.
essentially running your own international business.
And probably dealing with the occasional shattered shipment, right?
Probably.
Even with the best packaging, accidents happen.
Yeah, handling those curveballs is part of the territory, but that's also where those negotiation and problem-solving skills really come into play. A successful wholesale merchant can turn a shipping mishap into an opportunity to build even stronger relationships with their suppliers.
So it's not just about getting the best price. It's about building trust
Right.
and understanding those cultural nuances that are so crucial when doing business internationally.
Precisely. And that's particularly true when working with China, where building strong relationships is paramount to business success.
Okay, so we've established that this isn't your average desk job, but let's get specific. What kind of skills are essential for someone to thrive in this field? Is it all about being a smooth talker who can spot a good deal from a mile away?
Well, strong negotiation skills are certainly a must-have,
Huh.
but there's more to it than just driving a hard bargain. You need a deep understanding of the glassware market itself.
Yep.
From production techniques and material sourcing to the latest design trends and consumer preferences.
I imagine that market knowledge is constantly evolving, especially in a place like China, which is known for its rapid innovation in manufacturing and design.
You're absolutely right. A successful wholesale merchant is always staying ahead of the curve,
Mm-hmm.
attending trade shows, reading industry publications, and even traveling to China to meet with suppliers and see the latest designs firsthand.
It sounds like this job demands a thirst for knowledge and a willingness to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of global trade.
Precisely. And let's not forget the importance of cultural intelligence.
Right.
Understanding Chinese business etiquette, communication styles, and even just basic Mandarin can make all the difference in building strong relationships and closing deals.
It's not just about speaking the language, it's about understanding the unspoken rules and cultural nuances that can make or break a business deal.
Exactly. For instance, did you know that in Chinese business culture, gift giving is a deeply ingrained tradition?
Mm-hmm.
And the way you present and receive gifts is laden with symbolism. A wholesale merchant who understands these customs will be far more successful in building trust and rapport with their Chinese counterparts.
That's a fascinating insight. So it's about being a cultural chameleon of sorts, able to adapt and navigate those subtle but significant differences.
Absolutely. And that ability to bridge cultures is becoming increasingly valuable in today's interconnected world.
It sounds like the role of a wholesale merchant goes far beyond just buying and selling.
Right.
It's about being a cultural liaison, a trend spotter, and a master negotiator, all rolled into one.
You've got it.
Yeah.
And that's part of what makes this career path so dynamic and rewarding.
So we've talked about the demands and the cultural intricacies of this field, but let's be honest, a lot of people are drawn to careers like this because of the potential rewards.
Right.
Is the allure of high earnings and international travel a reality for wholesale merchants specializing in Chinese glassware?
Well, let's just say the earning potential in this field can be as dazzling as a crystal chandelier.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Um,
Give us the details. What kind of salary can an experienced wholesale merchant realistically expect?
it varies depending on factors like experience, the scale of their network, and the types of deals they're closing.
Mm.
But it's not uncommon for seasoned merchants to earn six-figure salaries, especially those who've cultivated strong relationships with high-end retailers or interior designers.
So those stories about merchants jet setting off to luxurious trade shows aren't just rumors.
Not at all. The job often involves travel, both domestically and internationally.
Wow.
You might find yourself exploring bustling factories in China one week and attending a glamorous design expo in Milan the next.
Talk about a career with global appeal.
Yeah.
But beyond the financial rewards and travel perks, what are some of the less tangible benefits of this line of work?
One of the most satisfying aspects is the feeling of being a bridge between cultures. You're not just facilitating a business transaction, you're fostering connections and promoting understanding between people from different parts of the world.
It's almost like cultural diplomacy through glassware.
Exactly. And there's a real sense of accomplishment in knowing that you're playing a role in bringing beautiful, handcrafted pieces from China to homes and businesses around the globe.
It's not just about the bottom line, it's about sharing a piece of another culture with the world.
Precisely. And for those with an entrepreneurial spirit, there's the potential to build your own brand or even launch your own import-export business.
So the career path has multiple avenues for growth and expansion.
Absolutely. But like any entrepreneurial venture, it requires a combination of business acumen, market savvy, and a healthy dose of risk tolerance.
So, for someone just starting out in this field, what would you say are the most important steps to take to build a successful career?
First and foremost, immerse yourself in knowledge. Learn everything you can about the glassware industry, from production methods and materials to design trends and market demands.
Basically, become a glassware connoisseur.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of networking.
Right.
Attend industry events, connect with other professionals online and offline, and seek out mentors who can guide you along the way.
Because experience is often the best teacher, but having a mentor to learn from can help you avoid costly mistakes.
Absolutely. And when it comes to breaking into the Chinese market, cultural sensitivity is paramount. Take the time to learn about Chinese business etiquette, communication styles, and even some basic Mandarin. It will demonstrate your respect and willingness to bridge the cultural divide.
Those gestures go a long way in building trust and rapport, which are essential for any successful business relationship.
And finally, be patient and persistent. Building a successful career in this field takes time, dedication, and a willingness to learn and adapt.
It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but a path that rewards those who are passionate, resourceful, and committed to mastering the art of global trade. So we've covered the exciting possibilities, but let's be realistic. Every career path has its challenges. What are some of the potential downsides or obstacles someone might encounter in this line of work?
Well, as with any business, there are always inherent risks. Market fluctuations can impact demand and pricing, and global events can disrupt supply chains, sometimes quite dramatically.
We've all seen how unforeseen circumstances like, a pandemic or a trade dispute can throw a wrench into even the most carefully laid plans. How do wholesale merchants navigate that kind of uncertainty?
It requires agility, adaptability, and a keen eye for anticipating market shifts. A successful merchant is constantly monitoring global trends, assessing potential risks, and adjusting their strategies accordingly.
So it's not just about riding the waves of the market. It's about, being able to anticipate the storms and chart a course through them.
Exactly. And let's not forget those potential quality control issues we touched upon earlier. Even with established suppliers, there's always a risk of receiving a shipment that doesn't meet the agreed-upon standards.
And when you're dealing with fragile cargo like glassware, that can translate to some costly mishaps.
Precisely. That's why building strong relationships with reputable suppliers is so crucial. A trustworthy supplier will be upfront about any issues and work with you to resolve them quickly and fairly.
It sounds like those relationships become even more important when things go wrong, as they inevitably do in any business.
Absolutely. And that's where those negotiation and problem-solving skills we talked about earlier really come in handy.
So it's not just about closing deals. It's about managing relationships, mitigating risks, and navigating the unexpected. It sounds like this career path requires a certain level of resilience and a tolerance for ambiguity.
You got it. It's not for the faint of heart, but for those who thrive in a dynamic, fast-paced environment, it can be incredibly rewarding.
We've covered a lot of ground here today, from the intricate skills required to the global reach and cultural nuances of this industry. As we wrap up our deep dive, what are some key takeaways you want our listeners to remember about the world of wholesale merchants specializing in Chinese glassware?
First and foremost, it's a field full of opportunity for those who are passionate about global commerce, cultural exchange, and of course, beautiful glassware. Yeah. But it's also a field that demands continuous learning, adaptability, and a willingness to embrace the complexities of the global marketplace.
It's not just about buying and selling, it's about building bridges, fostering understanding, and navigating the ever-evolving landscape of international trade.
Precisely. And for those with the drive, the cultural sensitivity, and the entrepreneurial spirit, it can be a truly fulfilling and lucrative career path.
So, the next time you reach for a glass of water or admire a delicate hand-blown vase, take a moment to appreciate the skilled wholesale merchant who helped bring that piece of craftsmanship into your life. It's a reminder that even the simplest objects have a story, and often that story involves a fascinating journey across cultures and continents.
And who knows? Maybe this deep dive has sparked an interest in some of our listeners to embark on their own global adventures.
Because the world of wholesale trade is full of possibilities waiting to be explored. Until next time, keep those glasses raised to curiosity and the thrill of discovery.